Well, thank you again for being here today.
Happy to be here.
I guess just starting out, can you give us a bit of your bio, where you grew up?
Sure.
What you do now, where you went to college?
I grew up in the northwest part of St. Louis County, in an area called Florissant or Hazelwood. It's a working class community. My dad was a carpenter, my mom was a hairdresser. First person in my family to attend college and graduate from college. That's where I met my wife. She also came from similar background, and both of us were the first persons in our family to graduate from university. And we were foster parents, actually, in the state for the last 5 years, adoptive parents just for the last month officially. And that's a little bit about my background growing up. So.
And you're currently a state representative, correct?
Been a state representative since 2002. Was elected, was the only Democrat in the state of Missouri, actually, in 2002 to defeat a Republican incumbent, and was reelected in 2004 with 70% of the vote.
And do you have a side job too, or
full-time campaigning now? But I worked for Teamsters Local 688 before this, helping with financial planning programs for members, retirees getting ready to retire.
And so, how would you say your experience as a state rep and working with the unions has prepared you to become state treasurer?
I think my life experiences in general have viewed how I see public service. You know, growing up in the community where I grew up, it was a working class community. It taught me that we have to provide an infrastructure of opportunity for everyone to succeed in this state, making sure that we have access to high quality elementary and secondary education, making sure that we have access to affordable higher education, making sure that we provide quality health care for everyone in this state. And really that we're doing the things on the ground to help move this economy forward in a way that touches families.
And would you say that you could accomplish those goals better as state treasurer versus being a state rep?
I think my experiences in the House have been really useful because I've been ranking member of the Ways and Means Committee for the last 4 years. I've sat on all the state finance committees. I've been a point person on fiscal issues. But the office of state treasurer is really a unique place to start from to really talk about larger fiscal investments that have to be made in the state long term and made in human capital in the state. So I think a statewide office gives you an opportunity to really set a better framework for decision making so that we can really begin to tackle some of the issues that affect Missourians most.
So then moving on to your campaign, how has running your campaign, how would that reflect into how you would run being state treasurer?
Well, I hope hopefully in many of the same ways. I mean, we're making a case every single day on why we should be the next Missouri State Treasurer. We're talking about real issues. We're talking about real ways that we can make higher education affordable, real policy ideas that are in writing, that are out there for folks to examine. We're talking about ways that we can make investments in health care, ways that we can protect Missouri's consumers and investors to make sure their investments are safe. So we're doing things on the ground every single day in this campaign that really prepare us for governing. And I think that's really the right way to campaign.
And what would you say the biggest issue is facing the next state treasurer?
Well, we have to be willing to play a leadership role in really moving Missouri's economy forward. Unemployment rate is its highest point in almost 20 years. And folks are suffering, and families are suffering, and making long-term investments and making sure that college is affordable, making sure that we protect investors and move this economy forward is critical.
And especially in these times now, I mean, do you see the national economic crisis really focused in on Missouri?
You know, it affects families in real ways, and you know, when we talk about sort of a credit crisis at the national level, what it means for families is that they can't borrow to get the things done they need to, and what it means is that their small businesses or companies are laying off workers. It means that their health care access has been cut. So it has real meaning on the ground for those families, and you can see it in the statistics, but if you travel the state and get an opportunity to talk with folks, you really see firsthand what it means.
So what will you do about these various issues? How will you tackle them?
Well, we have to first of all see public service and government as a way to help provide an infrastructure of opportunity for families. Right now we have the 12th highest average tuition cost at a public university in the Big 12. We can do better than that. We have a plan that actually on the ground would extend a 4-year education to every child in the state that graduates from the community college system. It really begins to build a bridge from community college to a 4-year program and does it for a cost and an investment that's reasonable. It's an investment that actually helps those families from an access perspective, but it really moves our economy forward because it's preparing our workforce. We have a plan that really provides special protections for those that prey on seniors in regards to their investments, and making sure that we have financial advisors doing the right thing. That's something we've talked about. It's on the ground, and that's something we can move forward once we're elected.
So if you are elected, what is your short, immediate to-do list?
Well, the first thing that you have to do is really develop a plan for hiring quality staff that's dedicated to public service, because your first and foremost job is to keep Missouri taxpayers' investments safe, manage its investment portfolio, manage the banking services. Those are the key jobs, the statutory and constitutional responsibilities of this office. I bring experience from a fiscal perspective at the state level. I bring an MBA degree. And we're going to surround ourselves with dynamic, innovative people that are ensuring that taxpayers are protected first and foremost. But beyond that, we're going to talk about some larger issues on how we can move the state forward. There is no need for Missouri to be running in place, and it's going to take dialogue to help get us there, and it's going to take leadership.
And kind of surrounding yourself with a good team will.
Surrounding ourselves with a good team is a great start for making sure that we do the basics of the job well. And then beyond that is really talking to leaders throughout the state and talking to citizens throughout the state on what we can do to really, on the ground, move our economy forward.
So how would you say you differ from your opponents?
I think we have a significant difference, and that is that my opponent really believes government has really little or no role at all for most Missouri families in providing opportunity for families. I believe government does have a role in at least helping provide those opportunities. He was chair of the Budget Committee during the health care cuts in 2005. He led the charge for those health care cuts that cut 100,000 people off of health care in the state. And by the way, fiscally has been really bankrupt the state because it sent $1.6 billion of federal money away to other states. He was recently asked about college education and increasing tuition costs, and his response and his plan that he's put in place is that parents just simply need to save more for college like they do for retirement. And finally, he's stood up and said there shouldn't be a minimum wage in the state of Missouri at all. So I think that, you know, what I see is a role for government to make sure that we have opportunity and optimism long term for our economy.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, or anything else I didn't touch on?
I'm really passionate about the Office of State Treasurer. I see public service as a calling to really help improve our state long term and touch lives.